Hey, good morning. This is Lynda Cromar, and I am starting something new here. I decided I was going to start a brand new blog for the purpose of demonstrating exactly how to get started. I know there's a little bit of confusion. I'm seeing people ask questions in our Simple Freedom mastermind group, and I wanted to make sure that you understood how to get started. The very first thing that needs to happen before you do anything else is, if you're not already there, is you want to be at the getting started place. This is inside of your Power Lead system, and you need to actually add a new domain. This one is going to be specifically for your blog, so you can make it anything you want it to be. I suggest you make it something that's simple, easy to remember, and not very long, because you can also create subdomains off of this link later, but the actual .com original link will only be propagated inside of the Power Lead system. And then the next thing you need to do after you've done that, after you know that it's in there, you need to go to I think it's in Manage. You want to go to Websites, and then you're going to go to, I think it's in Manage. You go to Manage your blog, your websites. So you're going to go and find that link. If you have more than one, then you have to make sure you have the right one. You can actually just have one URL, and all you have to do is first set one up that goes to the to your blog, and then after you've done that, you can make any amount of subdomains, which means you have a name dot something that is available to you inside a Power Lead system for any one of your other pages. And then once you've done that, you want to, here is the one I decided to use. And then you're going to actually go all the way down to the very bottom. Now, you may not have as many things in the middle, but make sure to come clear to the bottom and look for Power Blog. And then put a notch here, and then save my choice. Now, I've already done this because I wanted to go to the next step for you. So the next step after you do that is to go up to Promote Your Business and Power Blog. Okay, so now I have a site. I've showed it to you before. But we're going to create a site because I have a new link in here. And so you need to go to Create Site, because it's not created yet. It's just been moved over to this site. So you can select your domain. And mine is Join Lynda C. So I'm going to go ahead and check that one. And it should be propagated. I did this earlier in the day. It says it is propagated. That's what you're going to look for. If it says not propagated, then you need to wait and come back and try it later. Now, the next step is you're going to have it create that blog, and you need to give it a site name. And I'm going to just say, because this is not going to be a public blog right now, Demo for Lynda Cromar. I'm just going to write that in there. You can write anything. You want this to be kind of the tagline of what you're going to have the search engines decide to find. So I might come back in here and actually change this to something that the search engines would actually find. And then, as you know, we've got several different themes. All of these different themes are available. And I'm going to just choose one of the, I'm going to choose Extra instead of that one. And this is what it looks like if you click on it. This is how it looks. So we're going to go ahead and choose Extra. So you have to choose from this drop down right here. And I'm going to choose that one. And then you just click Create the Site. And this may take a few minutes. Okay, it said that my site was created successfully. So now what we need to do is go back to the dashboard, and we need to go to My Sites. Now it should show under here. See, there it is. I chose, this one has been the one I've been putting content in, so I'm not going to mess with that one. This one is brand new, has nothing inside of it. So let's look inside and see if it sees it, if it's complete. And this is a good sign. It's showing all of these icons, but it is a completely blank site. There is no information on it. If we were to go to the actual visit site, we would not see anything there. This is what we'll see if we go there right now. It's showing things that, it's just showing the demo that it showed you for the demonstration because it hasn't been created. Now, a lot of people just start right off blogging, but that's not the first step that you take. The first step that you take is you start putting together what you want your page to look like. Because before you have anything else in here, because if you look at this is a demo, this is not you yet. This is not you. And so what you want to do, see, it does say howdy, my name, but it doesn't say anything else. So there's various different things that you can do to start out. In order for this to look like, let me open up my other one, just to give you an idea of some of the things you might want to do. So we're going to go to my blog here. As you can see, this one has a lot more in it. So if we just went to the site now on that one, of course it shows a lot more. I've got a front page. You don't have to have a front page, but of course it makes it a lot better if you do. So we have some pages. You have to determine, depending on what you want people to see, but you need to have something here or they're not going to see anything. So for instance, if you wanted to have, we don't need that page up. If you wanted to have a page, the very first thing that I do actually is I go to Appearance. And this is how you determine what it's going to look like. And you go to Customize. So it's going to bring up your demo again and show you what it looks like right now before you do anything. For instance, do you want it to have your picture, your a little icon of yourself? That's one of the things you can do. And again, it's bringing up just general settings. So the first thing, I'd go to General Settings, Layout, see if there's anything I want to change there. The sidebar can be, I think it helps to actually bring it to 30, which gives it a little more space there. That's where you're going to put your any kind of things that you have. Right now it's got recent posts, recent comments, archives, and categories. You can choose to have those taken out, whatever you want to do. Whenever you make a change, make sure you save it. And then you can change what the heading size is. You can change a body size. I like to make the body text a little bit larger because it's really helpful to not have it too small. Is if you look right here, this is of course just junk stuff, but it gives you an idea what it's going to look like. And you can change the font, you can change all kinds of different things, whatever you want. Gives you choices of color if you want to. I like to change some of these things. It's just for fun. Makes it just a little bit more personal and attractive if it's and that only gives you the choice of gray for. Sometimes I have to reduce this just so that I can see it better. The body link color, I like to make that something other than black. And it's not letting me get to it. Alright, where else do I get the color I want? Ah, here we go. Now it's showing other colors. Like red would be good. We could do a red link color. And then remember always to save. And it's not getting where we want to go. There we go. Now we can see it. So let's bring this up. See, now it's changing. It's not dark gray anymore. It's a shade of kind of a faded red. So that's another thing I say, and it's been saved. So now we can go on and go to the next piece. Another thing I like to do is make sure my site identity, right now it says demo. This is where you can change that line that I just did, and you don't really want it to say just another my blog site. You want it to say something else. Like your name. Make sure your name's on there. I'm just going to leave that for now. And here is also where you can create an image if you want that helps you make it look a little more personal. For instance, if you had a logo of any kind, I'm going to go into my media library because I already have one that I can use in here. No, I don't. I guess not in here because it doesn't have the one that I used on the other blog. And also each of these blogs have their own media libraries. That icon can be your own picture. It can be anything that you choose to put there. Obviously, it has to be a real picture. It doesn't do well with, okay, if I can find something real quick. I don't have anything at the moment, so I'm going to just skip that. But I'm going to come back later and put one there, and what that does is that creates an icon. And to show you what that looks like, it's this little picture right here. You can have that in, and it'll show up on your, basically on this top area here, which is your home page, your navigation. And that's why that's important. So we're going to skip that for the moment. And then we've saved this. We'll save this again. And then anytime you go in and make even the tiniest change, make sure and save it. I don't recommend doing background because it ends up making where your text is dark. And I don't think that's a good plan for most of the settings. So the other thing that possibly you'll want to do eventually is your widgets, but we're not ready to do those quite yet. So we're going to close out of here. And so now we're back in the menu. We can go back to the dashboard. And another thing you have options to do is called theme options. Theme options is another place where you can change colors. You can decide where your menus are going to be. You can put in, this is particularly nice, as you can put in, where is it? don't think it might be an integration. Oh, I think it's a navigation. Okay, so navigation will show you where your menu is going to be. Most people want it on the top. And you can also take out any pages as you start creating pages that you may not want there. Now, as you start creating categories and pages, it sometimes puts it in here like it's a page. And I don't want categories in there, so I come in here sometimes and take it out. And then layout. This is just so that you can show, you want to show your comments, you want your author box in there, which it's just going to have your name mainly. And this is going to show your icons, and then you can save it. And let's go back to the dashboard. Now the menu management, what that is for is as you start putting pages in, which I don't have a page yet. This is a brand new blog, remember. Your first page is actually the top, primary. And you can create more if you want, and they're going to show up on the side here. And as they show up, you can add them, and what that'll do is that'll make it show up here. Now I recommend you don't have absolutely every page up here. Some of my pages that I've created link to this, but they're not up here. I don't want them up here. But sometimes, like for instance in my Lynda's recommends, I have things that you can link to. I've linked to, like for instance, this one takes you to another page. No, this one doesn't. But some of them take you to another page. It's in the the training, and some of those, they take you to pages sometimes instead of to direct. And that's a good thing because then you can just click, you can put them in here. And for instance, this will give you more details about what that is about. Okay, so that's just a basic overview of how to get started. I'm going to do a little bit more in depth with this later. I'll create some pages, I'll create some posts, and show you how to get started with that. But this is the first one. This is how you get going. And as far as I think somebody was in the Facebook group and was saying that they couldn't get their page to propagate, and I think it's because that person was using a subdomain, and these are supposed to be just direct domains without a subdomain. They're not constructed to accept a subdomain. So if you can, it's only $12.95 a year. If you can, go ahead and get a new URL that will be just for your blog. And so I hope that's helpful. Let me know if you got other questions, and I'll be talking with you again probably tomorrow on this.